Sly of the Underworld for Nick Theodosi Prestige Cars, 185 Arden Street, North Melbourne.
18 after 8. Sly, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Perhaps it's time for us to admit that we are, in this country, facing our biggest challenge since the Second World War.
Ice?
With the battle with ice. Police are saying that we are losing a substantial part of a whole generation, that our mental health system is going to be crippled with what is happening. Ice is highly addictive, mind-altering, aggressive and self-destructive. I could actually understand people who take cocaine and marijuana and so on because apparently it makes you feel good. And
in the short term.
In the short term. And there are casual users, people who use cocaine or cannabis or other products such as ecstasy occasionally, and others become addicted. It would appear in the case of ice that there are few, if any, casual users of this particular product. You smoke it. So people who smoke marijuana may think, well, I can do that, I can do this. But it is virtually changes you overnight. Interestingly, we had the heroin scourge, but I remember a hypothetical on the ABC where an expert was asked, if you had to be operated on and by a surgeon who was addicted, would you pick the one addicted to alcohol, addicted to prescription medication, or heroin? And he said, I'd take the one with heroin every time because it's actually manageable. So a lot of those addicts actually came out of it at the other end in their 40s. Nobody thinks people are going to come out of it in the case of ice. Massive increase in domestic violence. The other point about it is that it produces paranoia. So there's a large number of young men addicted to ice who have taken to carrying firearms because they believe that their life's in danger. So you've got these addicted, paranoid and armed people out there. Police say virtually it's only the taser or the capsicum foam that can stop them. Other tactics simply don't work. It fries the brain. It is not just a street drug. There are other people who are using it. So what do? And the amount of it out there, there's 1 tonne, allegedly 1 tonne of a precursor chemical.
What I don't understand is, right,
in the deep out in the east, being made into ice.
If I want ice, presumably I can get it.
Well, apparently it's a wash. Obviously not in the...
Where do I go?
Well, your clubs and your mates. So we've got to understand that, a drug dealer can turn around and say, look, I know what I'm doing is illegal, but it's not immoral because I'm just providing a product that other people want, like alcohol, and that they can use it or abuse it. But if you are selling ice, you are pulling the trigger. You do understand that what you're doing is going to really damage the person that you're selling the product to, which is what the courts should take into account. Now, whether, as some police want, ice is actually given another level above these other drugs, so it becomes like a schedule whatever, and therefore it becomes a life sentence rather than 25. Or the courts simply look at it and say, you get an extra 5 years because it's ice, because of the consequences, because that is what happens. When you punch somebody, if he gets up, you get a bond. If you punch him and he doesn't get up because you've killed him, same blow, same place, same person, you go to jail. Surely the same thing should be with ice. You are selling a drug called cocaine, okay? This is what you get. You get an extra 5 years for selling something which is effectively grievous bodily harm in what you are doing. It's a cold-blooded act which is destroying other people. The other point, you are found to cook the stuff. There must be an absolute presumption that everything you own has come from drug trafficking. So we will take everything, every stick of furniture, the lazy boy, the TV, we take everything. And then you can come to the court and you can argue, hang on, I've had a job for 20 years, here's my tax incomes.
Or you might argue, yes, I'm an ice dealer, but my wife and children aren't.
Too bad.
Too bad?
Too bad. It's that
Presumably anyone listening who knows how to get ice knows the name of an ice dealer. Wouldn't that be nice to ring 1-800 333 000 Crime Stoppers and say, Knackers McGee is an ice dealer, and here's his phone number, or here's where he plies his trade.
Yeah, but I'd then have no shop to go to buy the ice I need.
too bad. No, hang on, that doesn't work. How about a reformed ice user?
Well, you've got the thing like cannabis now is being handled by uniform members, not detectives, because everybody is working on ice. We know that the seizures are at record levels, but it's always about the price and purity on the street, and that has not altered. Supply and demand. There is a massive supply out there.
How come, there'll be an answer to this, how come if I'm Peter the policeman, I just don't go down to a nightclub like any other ice user and go, "G'day, mate, yeah, I'd like some ice." And the bloke goes, "Yeah, how much do you want?" You go, bang, you're in the bin. You're an ice dealer. Bang, out you come and off you go.
That has been done on occasions, but basically they're saying we are so awash with it, we actually want to get the manufacturers. Now,
You can't deal with it on the micro level.
you cannot get the clandestine lab unit out that often because they are just finding lab after lab after lab. And once it used to be a big thing, but now any knucklehead can go onto the web and find a recipe.